Hi everybody. In this tutorial we're going to be talking about how you're able to access your campus gradebook and how you're able to get around in your gradebook. It's a great starting place for new teachers, but it's also a good reminder for the more experienced teachers on how to get around inside of campus. So hey, let's take off everybody on this. The first thing that you'll need to do is be able to access campus. So in order to access campus, go to the district website. And then up underneath staff login, you're just going to come down and you're going to click on Infinite Campus. When you click on Infinite Campus, you'll be brought over to the campus sign-in window. Enter your username and your password into campus login, and then you'll be able to sign in. So you can either then click sign in or just hit your enter key and it'll take you into campus. If you first arrive at this area right here, this is called the Toolbox or the campus tools. And you'll notice that you have two tabs in it. You have index and you have another one up here that's called search. So when all these come up, this is where you're able to search for specific items. But you probably don't want to be in here. You'll want to be in where your gradebook is. So what you'll need to do is come over here and click on instruction, and it will take you into the campus instruction. This is where most of your work is going to be done. You'll notice that you have a window on the left-hand side. This has all the areas that you're able to click on and be able to access. And we'll just start right at the top, and I'll kind of just do a really quick overview of what this all is. Right at the top is a control center. In the control center, you're able to see your classes. You're able also to be able to see what your attendance is for that day, your attendance status. Plus, the really neat feature is you're able to look at your assignments. And if you're using campus learning, which we all have access to this school year, what you're able to do through there is you're able to see your assignments on the side, and you're able to look at how the students have been doing on their assignments. It's really great because you can push things out through the student portal, and the students are able to turn them into you. It's a fantastic feature. I hope maybe you're going to want to be able to try to use that. The next item we have is by far the bulk of what you're going to be using. Between this and attendance, this is going to be huge. This is your gradebook. And in your gradebook, you're able to set up what it is that you're going to want to be grading the students on. And you'll see that you have a window pane right here that will list all of your students. Right in this area is where you're able to see when you've posted your grades and what the grades are for the students. And you'll see that it's color coded in kind of a greenish gray kind of a color. That means the students are meeting what your expectation is. If it's kind of in a pinkish color, that will be able to say the students aren't meeting your expectations at that point. And these are the categories that you have. Then right over on the side over here is where you have your attendance or your assignment information. And the assignments are what you create, and that's what feeds into the grades that you have, the categories and all of the grades that you have in there. Up on the top, you're able to see you have certain tasks. These tasks are what you drop down in order to be able to grade. And you'll see in this one, there's ROAR expectations. That would be a standards based. And then underneath this, you're able to see the grading tasks that you have and what it is that you'll be using to grade the students with letter grades, like A, B, C, D, F, or it could be pass, it could be fail. One thing, for this school year, everybody uses the district grading scale. Make sure you aren't using a building grading scale. Use the district grading scale. And then everything will work fine. The gradebook is wonderful. I'll have other tutorials there that are available for you. Go to those and you'll be able to follow how to use your gradebook and how to set that up. The next area that we have is something that's called the planner. Now, the planner is a wonderful place for you to be able to go in and see what your day involves. You can also bring up other teachers to see what their days involved. And over on the side, you can even, by coming down on the bottom and selecting, you can also go in there and you're able to see any teacher in the district that you would like to see what's going on with their calendar, their schedule for the day. It's a great feature. Use that because you'll always know when you can contact teachers and maybe when you have some common grading times. We have a message center. This is where messages will be posted during the course of a day if there's important messages, or just during the year. And you'll notice right here that we had one that is talking about when we're going to have an early dismissal. I mean, how great is that? You're able to look right inside there. There's a spot in here where you're able to have some discussions, and there'll be more tutorials about discussions. It's kind of a nice way you can communicate with different people through the course of all this. We have a feature inside of Campus called the Progress Monitor. If you're using the LMS, which is our learning plan that we have inside of Campus, what you're able to do in this Campus learning is you are able to be inside of this, and you're able to keep progress on the students that you have in your class. This student doesn't have anything, obviously. We're outside the school year when I set this up, but you're able to look at what the students have. You're going to have to check this out. This is brand new for the 2018-2019 school year, but it looks like it could be a really promising feature for you. As long as you enter standards into your assignments, you're able to keep track of that with the students and see how their progress is in your class. Could be a great conference tool. You have attendance. This is going to be one of the big ones also beside this and the gradebook. Attendance, this is where you just go and keep your attendance during the course of the day. Make sure you take attendance for every class period that you have during the day. Right in here we have your roster. The roster feature is great. Not only can you see your students, you can see their name and you can see their student number inside of Campus. What you're also able to do, you can see the gender and the grade, which you pretty much know that as you go along, but also you have their date of birth in a really quick, handy place to look, which is wonderful if you're going to want to be able to celebrate a birthday during the course of the day, and so you'll know when their birthdays are coming up. Also, a highly useful feature is right here. It's called flags. And what flags are great for is you can find students who have some medical concerns that you possibly should be aware of. You can also see the students who have an IEP, as long as that's entered in. There are some different flags during that you'll notice pop up during the course of the year. So just kind of pay attention to that, and you're going to be able to see that there are some flags for students that you have. This is one of the features that a lot of teachers forget that they have, and that's seating charts. And you're able to create a seating chart for your students based on the courses that they have. And you have some options in how you can set that up. You know, every classroom is a little bit different, so you can set that up in here. And then just take a look at the different options that you have here. Seating charts are wonderful, especially when you have a substitute teacher coming to the room. How much better is that than the substitute teacher? You can generate that seating chart, and the substitute will know who the students are, because you can even put their photos, that photo of a student, along with the seating chart. It's a great classroom helping tool. We have student groups. You can create, out of the groups of students you have, you can create different groups that you can assign your students to. So when you do, you can assign that student from here, put them into that group, you save that, and then you could maybe do some alternative grading type options for the students in here, or maybe you just have students that you want to have in groups for specific projects they're working on. You can do all that inside of the groups feature, the students groups feature. Post grades. This is a great tool if you want to be able to quickly post grades for students. You'll have the student inside of here along with their name and their student number, but you can come into here and very quickly, by using the feature that's just right up in here, that's the one about the fill percent, the grade, and the comments, you're able to enter something in for those students. You can batch fill all that down, so you don't have to go student by student by student if that's what the grade is for a specific class that you have. So kind of go in and experiment with this. It's a really, really quick way to be able to do certain things with your grades. It's especially helpful for comments. Another item that we have is an assignment overview. This is where you're able to go in and you can look at the assignments that you've given. It's a work in progress, so hopefully we'll get this, and it should be a quick tool for you to be able to use in your classroom. We have reports. A lot of people forget in campus we have a bunch of report options available for you. And if you come in here, there's one that's reports on attendance. You can see how the students are doing attendance wise in your class. You have one that's where you can generate what the grades are in the grade book that you're having for your student for specific courses that you teach. Another great report is the planner report that you have down on the bottom, and that's where you can come in here and look at all of the different things that you can generate through that. That's another great option that you have. And one that I'm particularly fond of is the one that's called the reports roster. Sorry, I had to look down at it here. The reports roster. I really, really like this because right up in here, this is where you can generate a blank spreadsheet for your students. So if you know that maybe you're going to have a substitute in the room, this is where you'd be able to go in and you could generate that blank spreadsheet, and that substitute could keep track inside of the spread on a printed spreadsheet on how the students are doing during the course of the day. Or you could use that if it's something where you would be walking around and you won't have access to a Wi-Fi connection, and say you're on a field trip and you want to keep track of how students are doing on things. Generate this blank spreadsheet. The blank spreadsheet's fantastic. And also, way, way down at the bottom of the list in campus, you have custom links and reports. And you'll see right now in this, I put in the hub. If you click on that, it will take you to the hub. So you can go in and you can look at any changes. From time to time during the year, you'll see some sites being put into here that could help you with a lot of different items, or maybe take you over to a video that we'd like to have you show your class. It's a fantastic option that we could have. Now, also in campus, you may want to get back to your campus tools again and be able to get back to that toolbox. So all you have to do is at the very, very top of this left-hand window, just click on the drop down, and then all you'll have to do is select tools, and it will take you back to that toolbox, to the tools that you have over here. And anything that's in here, you are welcome to use. Take a look at, see if it'll help you out in your classroom. But the one that's really advantageous for you to use is right up here. It's a tab called Search. When you click on Search and you have Student in your drop-down menu, you can type in the name of a student and you can bring up information about a specific student. And all you have to do is type in the last name of the student, followed by a comma, and then the first letter of their first name if you would like to be able to generate a specific student. And then when you hit your enter key or you click go, it will bring up the student's name inside of campus, and then they'll have a whole bunch of tabs across the top. You can click on those tabs and you can navigate to information about that student. Another nice item about that is that you can pull up a specific course at the top, and then you can go down and you can choose courses and pull up students from those courses that you have. Campus keeps on growing. Things are going to be changing. From when I made this video to when the actual school year begins, there are going to be changes inside of campus also. So, things that I had in here may look a bit different once the school year starts. They're constantly updating, which is exciting and can be a little bit confusing at the same time. So I appreciate you tuning in and watching this tutorial. Hopefully that will help you be able to start navigating through campus, and it'll get you started. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to give me a call. I deal with all things in campus. So this is Jim saying thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the classroom.